Hey everybody, it's your boy Captain Hunter coming at you again. Thank you so much for checking out this particular video. Got another one for you today. We got a couple of politicians. Politicians are weighing in on Miss Tiffany Henyard. So we're going to watch the Governor Pritzker, comments on Dolton investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and then we got another mayor we're going to take a look at. So we're going to take a look at what other politicians are saying about this. I've not watched these videos, so we're going to do a fresh reaction.
Governor, are you monitoring what's going on in Dalton and Thornton Township and leadership there? Are you concerned? Taxpayers seem very worried. There's chaos at meetings. What can be done? Could you play a role in stepping in some way? What's your take on the situation?
So I've looked at that question, whether the state should and can play a role. The federal authorities, as you may know, are involved and investigating. I've read that. I think that's a public piece of information. There is an investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that investigation to go forward with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot in charge of that. I think that those are two pretty good authorities for looking into this, investigating it, and getting to the truth. We'll support them. Well, we looked at whether we ought to put resources, whether it's state police and their anti-corruption efforts, or asking the Attorney General. The reality is that there are already two pretty significant investigations going on, and so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want two concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
I actually agree with that. I mean, I'm not an expert on any of that. However, I would say that absent any type of it's going to take state laws, charters, city charters, things like that to take a look at and to try to determine whether they have the actual authority to go in there and actually do anything about any of that. Again, that's not my area of expertise, but that's what it's going to take. And he's right. There's already an investigation by the town, by an independent, that the town is now allowing as far as an independent investigation, and then the federal authorities are already doing their thing. I can tell you from where I live, we had those same type of incidences, and the federal authorities did their thing. So that was plenty enough. After a while, it's just stepping on each other's toes and all that. So let's go to another video here. Let's see, Mayor blast Henyard, right? This is a different mayor. Suburban mayor blast Tiffany Henyard over behavior as Thornton Township supervisor. So let's hear what's going on here.
Next at 4, the Mayor Markham is blasting Tiffany Henyard over her behavior as Thornton Township supervisor.
Dane Placco has more from the south suburbs.
The mayor of South Suburban Markham says he's had enough of all the drama surrounding Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, and he plans to make a statement at tonight's village board meeting condemning her recent actions.
I just really wish that some of that leadership would stop.
Markham Mayor Roger Agpawa and village trustees and administrators told me this afternoon there needs to be a change in leadership at Thornton Township, which includes the village of Markham and more than a dozen other South Suburban communities. Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who also doubles as Dalton mayor, recently made remarks questioning property taxes and spending by communities in the township. But Henyard herself has been the focus of scrutiny and an FBI investigation for her spending practices, including expensive out-of-town trips, the use of both vehicles and employees for personal purposes, and a large security detail on the taxpayer's dime.
I think that it's the polarization that leadership and politicians get, and I think that it puts a bad taste and disdain to the residents and to the public and how we are perceived.
We're suffering in Thornton Township, and Tiffany needs to stop. It's so hard to call her supervisor when she's not doing anything right, and it needs to stop.
The mayor says Henyard seems to enjoy operating in a culture of chaos and conflict, and he says for the benefit of taxpayers of Thornton Township, that needs to end. In Markham, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Okay, everyone. So I live in Connecticut, So I'm not familiar with this whole township and even county. So we have counties obviously here in Connecticut, but there's we don't have townships, and so this is a very unfamiliar concept to me. And somebody tried to put me on blast about that. It's just not a familiar concept to me. If you don't know, if you didn't grow up around that, you didn't grow up around it. So I don't know very much about that. And our counties are not as I would say active, right? Some counties do, they have their own sheriff's departments where they actually answer 911 calls or do policing. We don't have that here. So there's a very big detachment concerning what occurs here. So it's just not that way, right? Some townships or some counties are responsible for garbage pickup and other things, right? Their taxes go to their county. Property taxes go to county. That's not the way it is here. So that it's an unfamiliarity about how all that works. So other officials are weighing in on this, and this is the latest and greatest from Miss Tiffany Henyard. So it's really, really sad. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Much love and peace. Hit that like and subscribe button.